Last week, I got on a discovery call with an author whose Claude told her she didn't need my class.
He said he'd read my Substack, looked at my course notes, and already had her set up properly. He was wrong. Spectacularly wrong.
I asked her to show me her Claude, and it was exactly as I had suspected, based on what she was telling me. So I want to show you something. I'm going to ask two different Claudes the exact same question.
First, I'll ask what he knows about me. Then I'll ask him to list it out. And last, I'll ask him to write something. Let's take a look at how he'll respond.
This Claude knows nothing about me, about anything that I have. This is not set up. He's not set up at all. Bare bones Claude. This Claude has all of my personal information, gave kind of a snapshot of who I am. I just asked a quick question, what do you know about me? Obviously, it's not very fair because this one knows nothing other than I'm approximately in Lewiston, Maine, which I'm close, but I'm not exactly in Lewiston. And this one says, what do you know about me? And it knows who I am, full name, what I do, what my businesses are, what I'm working on right now, who my team is, how I work, and my hard lines. So I'm going to tape, and I know it's not very fair for the other one, but I'm going to just paste them both in so that you can kind of see the difference between having your Claude set up and having nothing. So literally he has nothing about me, and so he's like, oh, did you want to set that up? Meanwhile, the Claude that I work with all the time, every single day, knows who you are and has listed out, even knows my strengths, my Clifton notes, my Clifton top 5, that I am politically neutral across all public platforms, no exceptions. And I'll work until 2 a.m. unless you tell me to go to bed at 11. The businesses that I'm running, Clark and Publishing House and the Invisible Pen, the different pen names that I have, exactly what they are, their heat, their status, where we're at with them, the voice rules that goes across all of the fiction that we write, our fiction protocols, the editorial personas that I have set up, what I write by brand, and here are all the brands and how I write them, the active projects that I have going on right now, the hard rules for operational, never fabricate book content, no ChatGPT recommendations. He and I have broken up. So that's the full picture as he has it. So another prompt that I'm going to try here, and just for, just to see if I get anything out of this one. But this one should give me something. And he's going to say, I don't have your Constance Rook. Let me just make sure that I nail the voice. And so he's going to ask me some questions, which is fine, and then, but this is what you're going to run up against. It's going to ask you questions, which is great. And I would say, warm, gentle humor. How should the opening page feel? And surprise me. Oh. And then my Claude is going, fiction protocol first. I have a pen name in the premise, but I'm missing too much to write anything worth reading. That is because we have a rule with my Claude that he needs to know if this is a new project or an existing one. And if it's an existing one, what is it? And where's the series Bible? Are we already working in a project? I mean, he's going to give me a hard stop because he's missing too much to write anything worth reading. So the Claude that doesn't know me is going to ask a few simple questions and try and and give me some type of an answer because he's trying to figure out how to work. This is the shortest chapter I've ever seen. Wow. Literally, what is that, like 5 paragraphs? It's very short. Yeah, and he's saying, well, it can't be Emma because that's a hard no. What she's returning to and why did she leave? See, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, okay? My Claude knows my brand. He knows how I have to have the answers to all of these questions before we even start drafting anything. Whether it's a chapter, whether it's a book, he's got to know. And because that is how I set him up. We don't just start writing whatever just because we wanted to write something. No, we got to know who, what, why, where, when, how. All of the questions need to be answered, and what's the heat target before we actually start. And give me those, and then I'll start writing something.
That's a pretty big difference, right? Were you surprised at how big a difference there was in the answers?
Let me show you exactly what it looks like when you have your foundation set up versus when you don't. Then you can judge for yourself whether it's worth taking a class like Foundations of Claude, where I walk you through exactly how to set things up for your Claude.
So these are the settings. This is the bare bones Claude, and this is how Claude comes when you first download him, or if you haven't set up your instructions. So the first thing is, and a lot of times Claude will have already asked you what you wanted, and a lot of times you may have put a sentence or two in here, but this is what it looks like. There's absolutely nothing in here. And so there's nothing that he knows about you and nothing that he can give you detailed answers on when it comes to anything about your workflow or who you are or what you write or anything. Whereas here, you can see that I have a whole list of things. I have who I am, what we're building, what my current priorities are, the hard rules that I'm looking for, active fiction projects that we're working on, what my 2 businesses are, what we're looking for in there, what open loops we have going on, newsletter operations going on, and things we're working on there, product roadmap, and the full tiers of everything I'm working on, and then how I work and what my skills are, who I am, talks about my skill files, what's available, what's banned across my again, all listing out all my pen names, my fiction rules, my Q2 goals, and everything that I'm doing, also what I need from Claude. And this is my favorite thing: no fluff, no permission seeking, direct, opinionated, commercially savvy, push back when ideas are weak, default to doing. You're my silent partner, my co-writer, my business brain. So this here, it's very long. I haven't yet had any issues with Claude saying, oh, you've given me too much. The other thing I wanted to look at for both of these, and I wanted to show you, is if you are here, and so we'll just go into skills. If all you see in your skill file is this, that's your skill creator, that comes with your Claude. Literally, that's what comes with them. And that's just to create the skills that you need. So let's look at the difference between that and all of the different skills that I have set up in here, along with different plugins and everything else, speaking in my voice, co-authoring in my different pen names. And then, of course, within my pen name, let me see if I can quickly grab one. The skills are going to be, then you've got your reference files for your skills. So each pen name not only has a full skill, it has references of your character rules, your heat guidelines, your tropes, your world building. All of these things are all within your skill so that your Claude knows exactly how you write and what you're doing within that. So there's no just starting to write. There is an actual workflow in everything that you do.
Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will your foundation. But if you have the proper tools in place, you can build a tool that will actually help you. So if you've checked out my classes and had your Claude tell you that he already has you set up, look again. If your setup looks more like the bare bones than the full setup, we should talk.
Or at the very least, you should check out the school community or Substack so you can find out for yourself how to build your foundation. Links are in the description. If you've been frustrated by Claude drifting and not sounding like you in the way you expected or hoped, this is the reason why. It's not just Claude who needs foundations. Each AI tool has its own version that, if you know how to set it up, will make a huge difference in your writing workflow. Come join us to find out more. I look forward to seeing you there.